Hey, Jake, here we are, episode 27. The Super Bowl was yesterday. Holy cow, what a finish, huh?
Well, I did not see that coming.
That was amazing. And the commercials, incredible. Are we recording this the month before? Who can tell with this incredible banter?
There was that one commercial that everyone is talking about. Oh my goodness. How weird and
how did we turn this around by 4 a.m, the day after the Super Bowl? Amazing. Just amazing. I got a great, like, heartwarming comedy story, I think. It starts with the R word. So who knows how heartwarming it might be. So I did this run with should we use names? I'm gonna skip names. We're just say that I did a comedy run, and I would say 80% of the comics I deal with are on the liberal side. I don't like to get into politics.
So this comedian that you're on the road with, you called the R word.
No.
Okay.
Not quite. So the headliner is liberal, and I picked this up through, not really on stage, although he's just kind of like a nice family-oriented person. But I pick it up during we go out to meals and we're hanging out with other comics, and we do 2 shows together, and the opener is a Comedy Works headliner who's also quite liberal. So when we go out to meals, things come up. The world news today are pretty divisive, and so I just get a sense. But on stage, he doesn't mention it at all. So then we go into show number 3, and I swapped out the feature to another Comedy Works headliner whose opening joke is essentially people who wear masks are the R word. And he says the R word. And he's very clearly on stage. He's definitely conservative or right wing or whatever you want to call it. And he's very funny, but his act is, let's call it, polarizing. Okay. Yep. So I'm watching this unfold, and I can see the headliner in the back of the room, and I interpret him as being upset.
Yep.
So this is like a downer for me. I'm like, oh no. And I'm worried about the audience being upset. Every audience has both types of people, and some people will be fans and some people won't be fans. That's what you get when you get into politics. Well, anyways, we were supposed to go out after this show and hang out, have drinks. We had an incredible lunch that day. Our politics never came up. I don't think there was any guess in either direction, from headliner to feature, which way either person leaned. But then within 2 minutes, it was very clear the feature was very right wing. And the headliner gets up, and he's definitely not right wing. And we have these plans to go out, all 3 of us. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen. This is like, they're going to be at each other's throats. Maybe it's canceled. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, I got like stuff to deal with as I'm tearing down the show, and I leave and track them down. I hear from the feature, hey, we're over here. And I go over there, and I did not expect what I saw. So like, I'm expecting them to be in some kind of, philosophical debate or something like that. Instead, they are fast friends. They are smoking outdoors. One's got a cigar, one's got a cigarette. They are cracking up about comedy. They are a band of brothers together. They could care less about their differences in politics. And we're just thrilled to have done a sold out show and had a lot of fun crafting jokes, and we're talking about their jokes. And it just reminded me how together comedy can make people in even off stage, and comedians, just this, like, the bonding between comedians is it supersedes a lot of things.
Yeah.
One might say, even the Super Bowl.
Even maybe
how we tied it all back together.
Boom. Yeah, it's
all back,
true.
Baby.
I mean, once you're in the club, once you're a comedian, and the thing is, I sometimes I get a little bit salty because there's so many people there's just open micers that are not in the club. You know, like you don't know
Club's
what
not the
it's
right
like.
word. Fraternity. Let's call it fraternity. Or
Yeah.
maybe that's maybe sorority. The Greek system. We don't want to gender this.
Yes. I mean, it's like you either done
Club
it.
is overloaded because it could mean comedy club, like pastel club.
That's right.
But I know exactly what you're trying. What you are saying.
I mean, because there's a difference between, hey, I'm a comedian because I do an open mic once or maybe twice a week, and I'm working. This is my main source of income, or this is a major part of my life, and that's a very different mentality. And so sometimes those guys think they're in, and it's like, okay, hopefully you will be. I'm not saying I'm not knocking at all, but when you do meet with those other guys, those road dogs, those guys that you wish that you want to be, especially those guys that are killers, and you see them and you're like, oh my goodness, I want to be more like you.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the outsider in that case, but there is something like very fast friends about it. And I've told this story before, but Dusty Slay, very nice man. When I was working at Zany's, and afterwards he's hanging out in the parking lot, and he's just like, he wants everybody to just come hang out in the parking lot with him. He's smoking a cigar, and he just wants everybody to just hang out. He's sitting on the tailgate of his truck, and there's, hey, you got up tonight, you were on the stage, you're one of us. Let's have it. So.
Well, I think you nailed it there, because now that I think about it, probably the number one thing they were bonding over was that they've both done comedy 15 plus years. And there's not that many people who stick around that long. And they had stories to share and stuff. They'd already spent some time together that day, but once they had seen each other on stage, there was like a newfound respect. It was really cool. It was fun to see. Yeah, also, maybe they were bonding over smoking, now that I think about it.
I mean, hey, nicotine can bring people together. Put a man on the moon, it can do a lot of things. But it is interesting, doing it more, and seeing who sticks around. It's comedy is like self-cleaning. I don't know if that's the right word, but like if you're bad, you don't stick around very long. And if you got to either get good or get out. I mean, eventually, how often can you bomb? It's got to be, I don't know. It's got to be hard on the soul to bomb as much as some of these guys I've seen bomb. Like, come on, man. What are you doing this?
Surely I've heard you talk about, and you have seen the opposite of what you were saying. People do stick around a long time.
Way too long. But I don't get it, because it's like, bombing is one of the worst things that's ever happened. It is like, I remember the last time I bombed, I called my brother, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't even believe this is happening. Oh my goodness. This is, and really like shook up to your core. And it was not that good of a show. And in the way that I even describe bombing, this doesn't count, because I think in order to bomb, you have got to be, it's got to be a real audience. It can't be an open mic, right? But I did really, really poorly at an open mic. It was my birthday, and I tried to riff, and I piled on a comedian that everybody ended up liking for some reason. And I thought she was very unfunny, and I was wrong. And it went sideways so hard. And my buddy.
It's crazy how much a comedy is being likable.
Yes. Yeah. And I tend to be pretty likable on stage, which, is, those comedians that have a lot of teeth to their act or teeth to their persona. I have a lot.
Well, that's this right winger in this story is very combative, or he's not likable, really. Yeah. I mean, he's funny, but he's not, I wouldn't describe him as likable on stage. He's antagonistic.
Yeah.
He's like, a lot of his punchlines are, this is objectionable. Yeah. And I'm going to rub it in your face.
We're gonna do it anyway. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have a theory I want to run by you. I don't know if I subscribe to this at all, but you're talking about this right winger, and we know that comedians are mostly left wing.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I was saying that earlier, I was wondering if you were going to object to that. Like if that was a Denver thing or if that was because I bet if you lived in Austin, you might say the opposite, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. So like the comedians I saw on stage, I saw dozens of comedians on stage. I wouldn't guess. There's not one that I would say that guy's conservative. There might be one that would be like kind of closeted conservative, but not like not one outspoken. And I saw probably 40 comedians.
Well, I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan, who are like pillars of that community, are definitely not liberal.
Not well. They're a different breed, and we can get into that. But they're like they're this weird version of liberal that used to exist and now don't exist anymore because more or less they would say it this way. I think politically they stayed where they were and the left moved. And so now they look conservative by comparison.
Interesting.
Okay. I think that's how they would say it. But anyway, so I live in Kentucky, very red state, and not a lot of conservative, Republican, whatever word you want to say. Now, here is the theory, and I'm gonna jump to the realm of music. If you're doing music, right, like The Voice is a great example, and you see a musician, especially a singer, especially a female singer, doesn't have to be, but most likely a female singer who is unattractive, she's probably really good at singing, right?
Oh boy.
So like and that they did the whole thing with The Voice. That's what The Voice is about. Like, hey, I'm going to hear your voice before I even see you to see, okay, you're really good. Let me look. Oh, wow, you are ugly. Weird. I didn't realize ugly people can sing. That's what The Voice is built on, right? That's the
I'm out of my depth here. I've never seen The Voice. I've never seen an ugly person. I think everybody's beautiful, but continue digging this hole, Jake.
Okay, fun. I'll give you a mirror.
As I'm staring at my face.
But so it's one of those things. I mean, I think there are singers that kind of came through who are, especially like in the pop era, like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all of these beautiful, but also the singers. And then there's like every once in a while there's a singer that's not as beautiful, and you're like, I bet she can really sing. Because in order to make it to the highest level, you can have like B level talent and A level looks, and that works. But if your looks are a C, you got to be A+ on the talent, right? That's I think that's fairly well established. I don't think I'm like getting way out over my skis on that one.
Okay. I like the Colorado metaphor there. Okay, continue.
So the question is, what about conservative comedians? Are conservative comedians ugly singers? So that in order for them to be successful or to continue working in a field that is dominated by liberals, do they have to be extra funny? Like they can't come in they can't have a B level talent. They have to have A+ talent because they have this other thing that's making them, or it has nothing to do with it.
I don't know if I know the answer, but I will say that I suspect the answer is very different today than it was even 2 years ago. And certainly 5 to 10 years ago. I mean, this is kind of a trope, but it feels like the world is so divisive right now and polarized that people, they want to support their own or whatever. And booking is such I was thinking about this just today, like how tough it is to get booked and how much you really just need friends to book you. I don't like it at all. I wish it was more skills-based than it actually is. But the reality is there are 100 comedians who can fill any given spot, and people are going to put their friends in those places. And politics tends to drive friendships these days. And I think there are people who would, be aghast to book a conservative comedian. or vice versa. I mean, maybe the conservative comedians would say, "Oh, we'll book a liberal comedian. We're more open-minded than the liberals."
Yeah.
But I don't actually have the data to support this. This is all like, these are just guesses.
Okay. Well, I threw out my theory. I don't know if it's, who cares? But here is another question. Now,
can I say one other thing about it though? Success on stage might be, well, I will say it's more difficult for a political comedian, period, whether you're liberal or conservative.
That's what I was getting at.
And I would say that that's almost like a death knell. I just think it's an anti-cheat code to bring up politics, because it's like telling a pro New England Patriots joke.
Yeah.
So many people are going to dislike you immediately.
Especially after the Super Bowl.
You can make it funny. Like if you tell a pro Jeffrey Epstein joke and it's funny and people laugh, that's some real skill right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think most people are anti-Epstein, so I don't think that one's a real like.
But that's my point. I think there are pro Epstein jokes.
It's not divisive. What I'm saying is like there are some that are more. It doesn't matter.
I think the word I'm looking for is objectionable. And so, like with politics, half the room is going to object to one take or another. With Epstein, you're right. 95% of people are going to object.
Yep.
There are people who like to travel to islands and do whatever. Maybe they're 1%, maybe they're half of 1%. That you got to have a lot of money. You got to have influence.
They are our target demographic.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Let's not even joke about that. But my point is that if you can make something objectionable funny, then it is. I mean, one of my favorite jokes that I ever did was about Robert. Speaking of New England Patriots and kind of this topic, Robert Kraft got in trouble for going to a massage parlor, and it was vilified universally. This is a rich man. He's, doing naughty stuff. And I had a take on it that made you come around and want to support Robert Kraft.
There you go.
And I really liked that joke. It was a fun ride for the audience, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun exercise to do, to see, like, can I argue in favor of something, like can you argue in favor of bullying? Like, as a teacher, they're
in favor of what?
Bullying.
Oh, okay. Sure. Oh, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard jokes like this.
Yeah. And like, I think that you could make a pretty compelling argument that bullying has a place. I mean, should it go, there's a certain level, it shouldn't go far, and nobody likes, but at the same time, you gotta get bullied a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to be wearing a fedora the rest of your life. I mean, you gotta.
Otherwise, you'll never quit comedy.
That's right. You'll never quit.
Think of how much time you'll lose.
But I think I know the answer, because I think you just said it. But I respect perhaps my favorite late night personality is Conan O'Brien. Big fan of Conan, and he had a quote recently, but he's also, you can look at his whole career, where he's basically, I'm not political. I'm the clown in the corner. I'm not here to like speak truth to power. I'm here to be funny and be goofy and be that. And I like that mentality.
Philosophy.
I like that philosophy. I like, hey, do you really want my opinion on this stuff?
Right.
I don't think people actually do want the comedian's opinion. They just like it when people agree with them.
Sure.
They don't really want to hear what the guy has to say, unless they absolutely agree 100%. But there's other guys that do give their opinion a lot, and
yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, fun. All right. Well, I was going to tell you that I have been snowed in for several days.
Over your skis.
Over my skis.
With your broken shovel.
Broken. I do have my shovel actually is broken.
We just discussed this 1 week ago. In real time, like 48 hours, but to the public.
But I've been snowed in for several days now. And it's a little weird.
What do you mean snowed in?
I have not left the house.
Okay. All right. But they got snow plows in Kentucky, right?
Well, my cul-de-sac has not been plowed. The road in front has not been plowed. And I have seen 8-10 people get stuck, and they eventually get out. But one guy, like my neighbor, is not good at driving, and basically is completely in the road. He's just blocking the road. He hasn't gotten into his driveway. He tried.
He just abandoned his car.
He tried to back out, got stuck, got out of the car, went in the house, and like, good enough. So like that's the sort of stuff I'm.
Just today, I was in a roundabout, and there was a street cleaner in the roundabout, like a Zamboni, basically, going about 3 miles an hour. Yeah. And then it came to a stop, and I wasn't sure what to do.
Yeah.
Like he's taking up the whole. I ended up hopping the curb and going around him. I think that's what he wanted me to do, but I couldn't tell. Like, what are you? Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Get out of this quick. Don't they clean streets at like 3 a.m. for a reason? What are you doing at 2 p.m. cleaning a roundabout? I'm trapped behind you.
Yeah. But this just a second ago, just a couple minutes ago, there's a guy was in his big truck, one of these big trucks that I don't like. I don't like big trucks, like the big gross.
Here we go again, being unlikable to half the audience. Let's hear your hot take on big trucks.
I just don't like a big truck. I already feel big enough. I don't need to feel.
I'm a coal roller,
No, not that kind of truck. No, like one of the F-150.
No. Those are the ones. You know what coal rolling is?
No.
So they have it's so obnoxious. Honestly, I'm breaking character here to explain it to you. They're people. They're conservatives, they're right wingers. And what they do is they have a special like button. I imagine it's just like a pull thing, like one of those old timey latrines, like a toilet where you pull like from London, where you pull the little thing. And then out the exhaust, I'm sure you've seen this, comes a huge plume of black smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Seen it? They call that coal rolling.
I didn't know it had a name. I thought
it has a name. It's popular in Montana and Wyoming and they get in front of a Prius and they just love doing their coal rolling. I don't know. It might be a push button. It might be Bluetooth. I don't know how it actually works, but I'm not even sure if it's legal. It might be like against EPA regulations, which would make it even more popular.
It's just a cry for help at this point. It's just that my dad never loved me. I get it. Whatever. But a big truck. This guy's in a big truck. Backs up in front of my house, gets his rear tires stuck in the ditch, just completely stuck in the ditch. And now it's like, and he's going back and forth, not doing it, just nothing. And so now do I have to go push this guy out of my, the ditch has been there for years. This is not a new ditch. And if in the summertime, if you got your wheels stuck in the ditch, you'd have a hard time getting out. But he's now in the snow.
Well, in that person's defense, you can't see the ditch in the snow, probably.
I mean, you can see a little divot, but he lives across the street. So
you should know better. Maybe. It's disorienting when everything's covered in white.
And so now I've got to, do I go help him? So I started walking over to help the guy. And his girlfriend or somebody gets out of the house, goes and says, all right, let me do this. Gets in the truck, turns into 4-wheel drive, and drives straight out. Like he just had it in 2-wheel drive, and the back wheels are spinning. But just puts it, boom, done, super easy, curls right out.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah.
What's the point of that story? Men are idiots?
No.
We're going to alienate another segment.
No. I actually switched the genders. It was the woman that did that, and the guy helped her. But I thought it would be funnier if I said it the other way around.
Oh man.
Just dealing with snow, man. I mean, I don't know. So like,
that's crazy. Have you done anything fun? Have you made an igloo or a snow creature?
No, I shoveled the driveway and the sidewalk, and I'm like the only house in the neighborhood that has a shoveled sidewalk and driveway. So it took a long time. There's a lot of heavy stuff. But I've been like,
how much snow fell?
Organizing my books. I want to say like 7 or 8 inches.
Okay.
So Colorado, that's not a lot, but
no,
Kentucky,
Yeah. And Colorado's sunnier. It will melt faster, probably.
Yeah. And I moved. Yeah, it will, because Colorado also has low humidity and higher temperatures and whatever. So it's like, this is going to be here for a week.
Wait, higher temperatures lead to more melting? This is
Yeah,
breakthrough science.
It's
Post Super
ridiculous.
Bowl, everybody.
Post Super Bowl breakthrough science. Yeah. Can you believe the Pats last night? It was ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
I moved my TV.
And that Bad Bunny show at halftime.
Oh my
Holy
goodness.
moly.
Whoa. Moved my TV over there, and my wife and I have been playing Dr. Mario. Are you familiar with Dr. Mario?
With the pills, kind of?
Pills, yeah. It's a pill puzzle
yeah.
game. It's a game
from
where you
NES days.
Yeah, where you
Nintendo Entertainment System.
That's right. It's a game that encourages children to play with pills.
I never actually played it. I can like kind of vaguely see the like cover of the NES thing. I almost bought an NES for myself for Christmas this year. I wanted to get the gun and the Duck Hunt. And Zelda. And then I found out that modern TVs, the gun doesn't work with it.
So like that TV that's right there, that's a CRT. So that
there you go. So you can do you have the gun?
I don't have the gun. No.
Okay. You should get one. You can buy aftermarket ones as well. They've since like made them. It's kind of interesting. I read a whole long science article about how they work. Like you know, CRT TVs, they're like blinking pictures 30 times a second to make moving pictures. And what they do is they just do one frame where the whole picture disappears. The like duck and the dog and the trees and everything. And there's just a little bit of light. And then it goes back to the game. And if there's a light detector in the barrel of the gun, and if the gun is pointed at the right spot where the white circle is on the screen, it will detect, you know, it's a positive hit. It's like you sunk my battleship. But they were smart about it, because in original versions, people would just point them at a light bulb. And they'd always get a hit. So they had to put in some software to say like, okay, there's no light hit right now, and then for a fraction of a second we get a light hit, and then no light hit again. That's positive. But if it's all light hits, then it's not. I put Jake to sleep with my NES.
No, I mean, hey, I know. I don't want to brag, but I knew that. But but yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know what you're supposed to. It feels like COVID. It feels like a mini COVID, where I'm stuck inside a little too much.
So you can't go to shows or anything, or mics.
You know, I haven't gone to shows or mics.
Thank goodness we're doing this taping.
You
poor guy. You need some socialization.
Tomorrow I'm going to a show, so I'm going to brave the weather and get out there finally tomorrow, celebrate the Super Bowl, and see what's going on, man. So, but yeah, that's what I did. So I spent my time, like, how'd you spend your snow days? I played Dr. Mario, and I've been arranging my books. That's it.
How about cooking or baking? Any of that going on?
Yeah, but I already cook and bake a decent amount, you know, and been making a few. I've gotten good at omelets. I'm a good omelet boy now. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, you know how many omelets I make? Guess how many eggs are in my omelet?
6.
Ooh, yeah. I'm glad that you said 6, because it's 5, and 5 feels like too many.
Yeah. I was going high.
I still do
5 is a lot. Are you doing 5 egg yolks, just throwing out the egg whites?
Oh, absolutely. No, I do the whole thing. I like all my. I mean, I'm whipping it, and you know, I get my egg in there, and a little. Provolone.
So, what are you filling up these omelets with?
Just provolone, just egg and provolone cheese.
Oh, so that's pretty. I'd say that's easy. That's on the easy scale. It gets tricky when you get too many ingredients in there. Are you getting a good seal on the outside?
I'm getting better at it. What's
the trick? Is it a good pan?
No, my pan's too small. The thing ends up being too thick because I got so many eggs, and so I'll flop it over and it'll spill all out. But I don't care; it tastes good.
Okay, all right. You're getting really good at omelets that taste good but don't necessarily look good. I hear you. We're in the studio today. Oh, that's Derek Stroop. How do I move out of the way? And there's the Yeti. The Yeti has joined the studio.
Yes. What's that paper with all the names on it?
That's when I hosted New Talent Night.
Nice.
It says MC Mark Masters.
Oh wow.
And it's got a whole bunch of names. Steve Vanderploeg was the headliner.
He's fun.
Let's go through the A list in reverse order. Mitch Jones, Austin Black, Jack Comstock twice. Clearly a typo. I think maybe that was scratched out and they put somebody else in. I can't remember. And then Anthony Crawford.
Wow. Anthony Crawford, very funny guy.
Yeah.
I remember booking him. Very funny guy and very generous guy. He was so honest with me. That I appreciate him, and he ended up doing my show. I booked him to do a show. This was like in the midst of COVID, so I mean we were doing outside gigs, and we were just starting to do outside gigs. And I was booking this show at it was like this fancy food court, but it was outside in this fancy food court. I don't know what it was called, but I said, "Hey man, can you do my show?" I think you did it. I can
tell you. It's called Edgewater something. Because I have a kind of semi-viral video about doing comedy during the pandemic. And I like videotape myself driving to it. Yeah. And during the show, and there's a crazy rainstorm and like a tent falls or a speaker falls over. Yeah. And I have my first beer in like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
It's like my first time outside of the house.
I didn't know I facilitated any sort of alcoholism. That's fun. Okay. But I booked Anthony for that show, and I think I said something like, I can give you like $25, maybe a little bit more if I get a little bit of a tip jar going, but like that's about all I can give you. And he said, and he was very honest, he's like, hey, basically this is beneath, I don't know the exact words, but like, this is beneath me. If I get a better gig, I'm going to take it, but I probably won't. So I'll do your show. And he showed up, he did the show, did a great job. So I'm like, I'm totally for that, because
That's so interesting that I was just thinking about this today or yesterday.
Yeah.
About if there's a way to say that politely.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting to a point, like I've talked about this before. I'd like to book more local showcases.
Yeah.
But the problem is, sometimes I get a much better offer. And I was just talking to a comedian the other day about how I never cancel. I pride myself on never canceling. I will occasionally go to a booker and say, this is the situation. I'm committed to your show. I will help you find a replacement, or you could find a replacement. Or if you ask me to, I will just do your show. I'm going to say no to I'm prepared to say no to this other offer. And people tend to be pretty cool about that. But what I'd like to do is be a little more aggressive with that and basically pre-communicate that. I don't know if I use the language, it's beneath me, but I might say
it like that. And right. He said it because I was a fellow comedian. I think he said it a little bit more, bluntly than he would have said to somebody who only book shows.
Well, I think it's also for both of us now that we're closer to where Anthony Crawford was then. To communicate to people, I'll do this show, but I do want you to know that I might be worth more than this.
Yes.
Don't get used to paying me $25.
That's right.
Kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
That's interesting. I did have somebody recently tell me that I was paying very well, and this was kind of a dagger. Don't tell anybody this. This is them. Don't tell anybody this, but I would have done these shows for free. I was like, can we rewrite this contract?
Yeah. But isn't that true of most shows?
I think it is. I think, well, it's interesting. I'm trying to noodle around this for my next book. This idea, I don't know how to frame it yet, but there is this concept. There are different buckets of comedians, and some comedians that have been doing it more common when they've been doing it 15 plus years, where like they have I won't get out of bed for less than price or attitude. They've like lost the love for I don't know if that's too harsh to say that they've lost the love for comedy, but there is a pragmatic reality to where they've burnt out the nerves, the joy sensors, the serotonin receptors in their brain for stand-up comedy, and they're no longer doing it because it's exciting. They're doing it to pay a mortgage, and they don't want to talk to you unless you have a certain amount of money or there's some kind of interesting experience. You know, like Dave Chappelle calls them. Of course, they're gonna do it for free, or an old friend.
Yeah, but, you know, I agree to an extent. However, in my experience, in the Kentucky experience, there are people that are coming to mind that would fit very similar to this category. However, they are not full-time comedians. They'll headline some of the local clubs like once a year, and then they'll maybe do like another showcase, you know, later on in the year, and that's about it. I mean, like, but they're not in the scene. They're not coming out to mics. They're not judging at the competitions. They're like, it almost feels like,
by definition, these comedians, which I need a name for them, would not go to an open mic.
Yes.
You know, and maybe if they had a very specific need, they wanted to work on a new joke or, but that's the whole point, is that they have a price to perform. Which is different than a lot of comedians. Most comedians, they're just excited to have stage time.
Yeah, and I have seen, again, I've seen these guys who, the reason that they're not going to open mics is because the open mics are useless for them because they haven't written any new material in several years.
So let me ask you this. Are they good?
Not really. I think they're okay.
Okay, interesting. I know some that are very good.
Okay.
And there's actually different categories. In this bucket, there are different categories. There's some that aren't good. There's some that are good that are, like you said, a few times a year performers, but they're doing an old act, which is fine. If it's the first time you're seeing that act, it can be dynamite. I mean, they worked on an act for 20 years. It's great. And then there are some that won't get out of bed for a certain price, and they're working all the time. And they're outstanding. You know, they're still getting invited to late night, whatever. And they're running a business.
Yeah. Late night guys, that's a totally different story. No. These are not late night guys. These are guys that like we had a show a couple of years ago, and I was early in it, and early in comedy, and I was lucky to be included in this showcase where we were going to record and then submit to Sirius XM. And these guys were like the guys that were in it, you know, like, we're really doing it for these guys, but Jake, you can do it too. And then of course I got it and they didn't, you know, so which is nice.
Yeah. So I'm working on this like framework. Like, how do you categorize comedians above a certain skill level relative to what kind of work they will do? Like for a long period, everybody will take every stage time possible because they're still improved. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like, once you hit a certain skill level, whether it's true or not, they feel like they're not getting any better. And so if you're not going to get any better, you might as well use it as a cash cow, this skill that you've attained. And I think both you and I would agree that we are continually getting better.
Yes.
And so we're not in whatever bucket that is that I'm describing.
No. Interesting. I speaking of that, I got offered to do a corporate event, and I'll tell you the price on the Patreon.
On the Patreon, everybody, patreon.com/Mark and Jake. We've been tearing it up over there, really giving away some things. I was thinking about something I said on last week's Patreon today and kind of regretting it. I think it might get out someday to somebody, and I'm like nervous about it.
Yeah. But here is the question. Here's the question: is what do you do with a? So I have a Saturday that's now booked because of this corporate gig that is easily makes the weekend. Right? I mean,
Sure.
it is.
Where?
It's in town.
Oh,
100% makes my weekend.
okay.
But now I feel like I can build around it still.
I got the answer for you.
What's your answer?
Well, let me ask you this first. Is it just you or are you bringing a comedian with you?
Just me.
Just you. And it's a Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Friday night, secret show, Big Jake's house. That's the day.
That's the day.
Because if
Okay.
you lose money, you got that as you're making money.
I'm making
There's
money.
you're playing with house money.
That's right.
And you know you're going to be in town and you got extra time to like clean up the stuff. You're not going to be stressed.
Yep.
You got to figure out what to do with your Thursday. Hopefully you're not traveling then.
Yep.
So you can like get ready. I think that's the move. How far in the future is this?
It is 2.5 months, something like that.
That is the perfect amount of time.
Yep.
Take 2 to 4 weeks to kind of like get everything together.
Yep.
And then you still got 6 weeks, your online tickets for sale, marketing, etc. Plow some of that sweet corporate money into advertising.
Ooh.
Paid advertising and fill that room up.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I'm for it.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Sounds like the challenge has been accepted and we're going to hear about it in the future.
And I also was thinking about, so like we were traveling through Texas and we were contacting a bunch of these senior living facilities because we're in town and they were very receptive and all that stuff. I'm like, I might try to do some of those local ones.
Sure.
That day, or that weekend, because I know I'm in town and all that.
I would love that because once you do that, then I can leverage those contacts for whenever I get out to your area.
That's right.
Because they probably won't have you back every month or whatever.
No.
But I can sneak in on those sweet referrals from BigJakeComedy.com.
That's right. Cool, man. Well, that's exciting.
Did you end up seeing Marty Supreme?
Nope.
Okay.
All I've been stuck inside, Mark.
Yeah. Did you see? In the Super Bowl, you were busy watching the Super Bowl, of course. Did you see? We talked about this a long time ago. We never followed up with it. I Like Me by the John Candy documentary.
No, I didn't. No,
Tom Hanks' son. It's on United Airplanes. I don't know how much you fly, but I watched it, and I think it's on Amazon as well.
Yeah,
because I think it was like A24 Studios or whatever the Amazon studio is. So if you have Prime, which I know you do, because every episode you're talking about, well, I gotta get nachos delivered from Amazon for my Super Bowl party.
Right. No,
it was very good. You should check it out.
I'll do it. I like John Candy. He's a fun guy. I did see the Is This Thing On? That movie with Will Arnett.
Oh, let's cut it right here. I don't want to hear a single more sentence.
Gotcha.
I don't know what I'm going to do about watching that.
Okay.
I don't know when I'm ever going to see it, but I am interested in seeing it, and I don't want to hear. I'm even closing my eyes so I don't see your facial reaction until you start a new topic.
Here's the new topic. This is a very weird one. Okay. I was in Austin, and it is Sunday morning, and I'm at the hotel. I walk over to a little tiny church. The pastor, I ended up hitting it off with the pastor, 15 people in the church, so it's real small. He takes me out to lunch. Very cool. I think I told that part already. But I talked to the pastor about a lot of things. I told him, like, the next day I'm putting my name in the bucket for Kill Tony. And so he knows all that. But this church does something that I've never seen another church do. I've been to a lot of churches. I've never seen them do this. Okay. They start the service with, quote, little Jesus stories. And so there's a big bowl of these little Jesus figurines.
Okay.
And the people of church are encouraged to take the little figurines and then hands them out throughout the week. And so one of the ladies in the church says this story about how she's riding the bus and the bus driver's real stressed. And she says to the bus driver, "Oh, you need a little Jesus," and gives him a little Jesus figurine.
Okay.
As they're going through this, they know I'm a visitor, right? There's 15 people in this room. I'm standing out. They handed me a couple of little Jesuses. They gave me a couple of them.
Multiple.
Two little Jesus.
Okay.
And I had them in my pocket for the Kill Tony episode. So if I were to have been pulled from Kill Tony, he might have given me a little joke book. He might have given me a big joke book. He might have said, "Get out of here, you're banned." I don't know what he would have given me. But I do know that I would have given him a little Jesus. Just a
amazing. Is it a Lego little Jesus by any chance?
He does look a little bit Lego-like, but he's like he's plasticky. Just a little tiny Jesus.
Okay. Keep talking. I'm gonna do a little research.
And I think I would have been the first one to ever give Tony Hinchcliffe little Jesus. So I was very excited about. I was like, I am getting picked for Kill Tony. I was never more confident that I would
double Jesus luck in your pocket.
I had a little Jesus in my pocket, and
instead you went to the craps tables and lost it all.
And I had a little Jesus in my pocket, and then you said something about, hey, if you do well on the open mic at the mothership, I did really well at the open mic at the mothership. I was like that. If anybody's watching that has any influence, I'm getting picked because I did great.
Yeah,
but didn't get picked, so it's all good.
I wonder if this is like a national thing. Trying to find the picture. I went to an incredible Lego exhibit. Have you ever seen these things where they make Legos out of it's like 10,000 Legos to make a zebra or something like that? Gosh darn it. But snuck into one of them was a teeny tiny, I think, Lego Jesus figurine. And I'm like, for sure somebody put that there. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be there like that. Why isn't my searching? Oh, I found it. Oh my gosh, it's the same thing. It is. Hold on. This is gonna take a second. Can we start a new story? And I'll get into the.
So when we was in Texas, I also went to the Painted Porch, which is a famous bookstore. It's about half hour from Austin, and Ryan Holiday is the owner of the bookstore. He's a fairly famous author.
I know who he is. He's what do they call that? Spartan or
Stoicism.
Stoic. He's a big Stoic guy. I actually emailed with him once. He wrote a fantastic book that I think they're making into a movie about Hulk Hogan. How did this work? The guy who's what's his name? Peter Thiel. Have you heard of Peter Thiel? Yeah. He's a famous investor. Yep. And he very rich, invested early in Facebook and a lot of other things. Has since he supported Trump the first election, but I think he fell out of favor with him or vice versa. He's got a ton of money, and he happens to be gay. But it wasn't public that he was gay. And an online website, do you remember the name of it?
Gawker.
Yeah, Gawker was the parent company. But it was one of their websites. They had Deadspin was the sports one. Okay. They had a bunch of other ones, and one of them outed him as gay, like in a gossip, page 6 kind of story online, and he was upset about it. Yeah. And in what I think is one of the most magnificent manifestations of the Count of Monte Cristo ever, he took, let's call it $1 million.
Yeah.
And went to Hulk Hogan and said, "Listen, Hulk Hogan, I have paid an army of lawyers to find a lawsuit that would bankrupt this company, and you haven't. I can't sue on my behalf, but I will give you these lawyers, and you will win all the money from this lawsuit." And the lawsuit bankrupted Gawker.
Yeah.
It put him completely out of business. It took him like 6 years, something incredible.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing revenge story I've ever heard. And that guy wrote a whole book about it. And I sent him an email. I can't remember exactly what it was about, but it was something about the end of the book where he hangs out with Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan has a different name. Like that's not his real name, which I guess shouldn't be a big surprise, but I forget what his real name is. And I think it was something about towards the end of the book, he stops referring to Hulk as Hulk. He either refers to him as his real name or his other name. And I was like, I think that was kind of interesting that you did that. Was that because you started a personal relationship with him or whatever? And he emailed me back. It was kind of interesting. And so now I'm on his email list and I get his emails like once a month. So
nice. Yeah, he was at the Painted Porch. He
really?
Yeah, he does his own audiobook narration, and I've listened to a couple of his audiobooks, so I recognize his voice immediately. I didn't physically see him because he was like leaving really quickly.
Because he was in the form of a cat at the bookstore.
But he was there are cats in the bookstore. It was a fun little Bastrop, Texas. A weird little like really cool small town.
That's the name of the town where the bookstore is?
Bastrop. Yeah.
Spell it.
Bastrop.
Okay, Bastrop. Okay.
Yeah. It's like 30 minutes from Austin. Very cool. I'm like, I could see why this guy lives here. This is a cool town.
Yeah. Neat.
But yeah, we went to the Painted Porch and went to the old bookstore, Ryan Holiday's bookstore.
Neat. That's pretty cool. Everybody support your local bookstores.
Yeah.
All right, Jake. Here's the picture. Can we zoom? I don't know if you can pinch zoom on that, but that looks very much like the one.
It's the same one. Yeah.
It's the same one. So I don't know what that is. That might be like the side of a whale or something because it's inside of black and white logos. But I wish I had like a wider angle so you could see that it's like really hidden. You really got to like get on top and like kind of look in. But yeah, it was there it is, little Jesus. I bet they do that at one of the churches in Denver. That's where the exhibit was.
I just need to get on Kill Tony, and then Tony will have one.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling that would go poorly. In a sense.
That's fine.
I mean, boy, do I bet you would get. This is what my prediction would be. This is kind of like the Ryan, whatever his holiday book that I would write about this. Jake gets on Kill Tony. He does great. Yep. Then he gets his notebook. Then he passes off some swag to Tony, who hates that he's taking his platform for Christian ideology, and then goes on a 10-minute rant, ripping you a new one. And so you hit a new low. And then you get off stage and you call your brother because you just ruined the best opportunity of your life. You're about to go on a rocket ship. You almost got in fact, you got a golden ticket and they tear up your golden ticket.
And everything. I'm like, that's way more important.
And then because they've taken your phone and they don't know if they're even going to give you your phone back, but you trade them the second tiny Jesus for the phone. You open up your phone and they're ding, 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 ding. The first offer, $100,000 to headline a mega church. Second offer, $75,000 to headline a mega church. And Jake made it. He made it.
I made it because I had a little Jesus in my pocket. That's right.
It's a roller coaster story. You can't really call it rags to riches, but Jesus is wearing rags, so maybe.
Yeah. So I was one of the. I was sitting there in the holding room for the Kill Tony, and I'm like, I was so smug. I'm like, of course they're picking me. I crushed at the open mic.
I hate that feeling. That's the feeling I have at contests sometimes when I'm like, oh yeah, I got this one in the bag. Yeah. And then they announce third, and then they announce second, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I got first. I was thinking I got like second or third. Yeah. Oh no, I got a bad feeling now. And then they announce first, and I'm out in the cold. That flip from confidence to devastation is just brutal.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I took a nap today because I've been snowed in.
Love a nap.
And I woke up with a text message from the World Series of Comedy. saying, hey, here's a special offer to, you know,
I'm going to get so pissed off by the end of this. Continue.
$45 off registration. Yeah. Did you just sign up?
No, we talked about this 10 episodes ago. I was like, should I sign up? I don't know. All right, fine. I'll pay the $90, the cheapest price. And we texted about this too. I said the price is $90. And part of the reason I texted with you was so that next year I could scroll up and see what the price was. Now I know I shouldn't sign up.
Yeah. So
that's good information. That could have been Patreon material, maybe. But
yeah, it's true. But
anybody who listened this long,
yeah, this is the way it said it. It says $45 off, which I don't know what they might have said. Hey, but the price is.
We need to find out right now. Can you look it up? I'll start a new story.
Okay.
What should I talk about? I'll tell you. We're running out of time, so I'll just say that I went to Steamboat. I may have mentioned this at one point, but I did these great shows in Steamboat. Shout out to Steamboat Comedy, to Kyle Ruff, to Matt over there. Great crew. But what's interesting is I was the feature. I was traveling with a headliner, and we got put up in lodging. And the lodging they got, very creative, very sneaky, Kyle. Big fan of Kyle. We're kind of like similar creatures. You know, I run comedy in a ski resort town, Vail, Colorado. He runs it in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. He has this relationship with his business or a nonprofit called STARS. And STARS, I think, is an acronym, and the A is adaptive. And adaptive snow sports or skiing is what sometimes called sled skiing. You know, these like Paralympians or people who are in wheelchairs, they can actually ski, and it is incredible. Like the amount of skill that goes into this. I used to teach snowboarding. I've seen a lot of this, and I could never do it. I don't have the strength to do it. I don't have the skill to do it, but it's really neat what they do. So anyway, STARS they have a ranch in just outside of Steamboat Springs, and they built like their own hotel. It's wild. It's like a Days Inn or more like a Holiday Inn, I would say, with these individual rooms, and you get a real key card, and he gets a bargain on it. And we get to experience every suite is handicapped, as you can imagine. So like not just like adapted from an able person's room to handicapped. It was like the flip experience. Like I'm an able-bodied person, and not to be an ableist, but most days, now that I'm getting older, if I sneeze too hard, you know, for a couple days, I'm feeling not so great. But you know, I throw out my back. But so like for example, the shower is you know, it's got a bench in it, and it's like there's no lip to the shower. Like so you can roll right into the shower. The whole floor of the bathroom is flat, and all the drawers and everything are super low to the ground. And it was kind of like being in a carnival experience, but pretty neat. Very beautiful place. And if anybody listening has a lot of money and a soft spot for adaptive snow sports, I guess throw some money to the STARS out in Steamboat. I just wanted to shout them out. I think what they're doing is very cool.
Yeah. Well, to figure out the price of World Series of Comedy, you basically have to register for the whole thing. They capture your email beforehand. But what I've found out is the regular price is now $120, which means $45 off gives you 75.
So I could have saved money.
You could have saved.
Dang it. $15.
Yeah.
Almost worth. 15 makes me feel less bad at this point.
Yeah. It's not much.
All right, Jake, we got to roll over to the Patreon with some exciting stuff. But let's do some plugs. This comes out February 9th, the day after the Super Bowl, everybody. It's Valentine's Day week. Don't forget to get some stuff for your loved one. Get a foot-wide Kit Kat over at Walmart and give your betrothed diabetes for this special Hallmark holiday. What do you got going on after February 9th?
I've got a show in Knoxville on the 12th. And a show in Danville, Kentucky on the 14th. So fun stuff coming up. Headlining that. Should be a good time.
Okay, amazing. I just finished a run of 3 shows in Dallas, Texas, possibly 4 if I got up at what is it, Hyenas in Dallas on the early show before I headline a Don't Tell comedy show. Wednesday, February 11th. That's this Wednesday, Valentine's Day week in Avon, Colorado at Lookout Bar. I'm there with Eagle Wit. And I'm pretty sure Talon Saucerman is on that show. Talon is so funny, originally out of South Dakota, now in Denver. You ever run across Talon?
No, I don't think I have.
He's one of these Comedy Works regulars. I'm not sure he's ever headlined, but he's definitely an A-lister at Comedy Works. February 12th, we're in Vail, Colorado at Sarah's Lounge at Christiania Lodge at Vail. Eagle Wit again. Eagle Wit, very funny, Comedy Central, HBO, from the Comedy Cellar in New York City. February 13th is in my calendar right now as TBD, but I'm like 90% certain that's Frisco, Colorado. And you can get all these dates and tickets to these shows at markmasters.co, like Colorado. And February 14th, on Valentine's Day itself, we got a special theater show in Breckenridge, Colorado at the Eclipse Theater with Eagle Wit. Oh yeah, the night before is definitely Frisco because Janae Burris is on that show. And she is also on the February 14th, Saturday, February 14th, Eagle Wit and Janae Burris at the Eclipse Theater. Gonna be great. You can get those tickets at breckcomedy.com, the Frisco tickets at friscocomedy.com. The Vail and Avon tickets are at vailcomedyshow.com. And yeah, I hope I made my dentist appointment on Monday, February 9th.
That's right.
When is this? That's when this comes out. When this comes out, I hope I fly back from Dallas and I have kind of a pretty tight turnaround on my dentist who retired and sold his business to a different dentist. I got to go to a different dentist for the first time in almost 20 years or maybe more than 20 years. We're going to talk about it on a Patreon some. I'm in a tizzy over it.
Tizzy.
A tizzy. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yep.